Greetings, I'm Skol, and this is a review of this knife. It's the Buck of the Month, April 2026, and it's a Ranger 112. Before we jump in the tabletop, I'll show you this nice packaging it came in, because I thought it was pretty good. And I've gotten a few new buck knives lately. They've been coming in this packaging, at least for the Pro series, some of the nicer ones. So it comes in a nice little pouch and little packing material. So even however your dealer shipped it to you, you still got extra padding on the inside. Famous forever warranty. And this one has a Buck of the Month. You can see on here one of 500 produced, certificate of authenticity. And so 500 produced. Also, this one, I guess, is a special milestone mark because it's also the 100th time they've made a Buck of the Month. So they've been doing it about 10 years, and they're up to having done 100 of them now. They've been popular for years and years. People love a special limited edition buck knife, custom, kind of custom. So here is a size comparison. I thought I'd start off with that, so I have these lined up. You have your classic, famous Buck 110, produced in 1964, and had a run of about 15 years of being the top pocket knife in America, and still selling today. It's just a great backlock design, classic, and that classic clip point with everything sturdy about it. This one's actually made in, you can see the X on the Ricasso stamp. Buck 110X, that X mark means 1990. So I remember getting this one, and I've kept this one nice as a kind of a collector's piece. In fact, this exact knife might have turned me into a collector, where I wanted to get a knife and keep it nice. So there's my first collector's piece. 1990. And then here's the one, so that's the 110, the 112, and then this one's called the Ranger, and then this one's called the Squire. So a couple different size options, and I have a little bit smaller review space because I thought it would look nice on camera to have this collector tin buck. I think this came with a Christmas set that had some buck knives in it, and a tin. I saved the tin. So buck, established 1902 with a deer, and my last name is somewhat deer related, so I kind of like that too. And then this being the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. So now we're 250 years later, so it's kind of another milestone marker birthday for America. So I have some commemorative challenge coins here. So this one's got the Gadsden flag superimposed with the American flag, and then the famous words, "Give me liberty or give me death, and don't tread on me." I got the Liberty Bell and an eagle on the back. And then this one's got Statue of Liberty in the White House and the flag, and Liberty Bell and eagle on the back. And I got another one. So I'm kind of carrying these this year. Actually, this is the back. Bunch of symbols of America here on this one. 250th anniversary, Statue of Liberty, Liberty Bell, bald eagle head, American flag. Now on the back, we have the Capitol building, Liberty Bell again, and an eagle. 250 years of freedom. So these are some fun challenge coins I'm carrying. I actually have a case. I'm getting fancy here. So I have a little leather case where I like to carry this one with the snake. That's a timber rattler on that flag, I believe. So we were talking about size comparison. You can see them lined up. So I'm going to move these off now and get into the review. Oop. I did want to show off some other Buck 110s I have. So here's the sport version with the thumb studs. So it's a full-sized buck 110, and I'll be doing a review of this later. So you got micarta and thumb studs. That review will be coming up. I actually have a whole big box of buck knives, and I have a lot of reviews to get to. So they took the standard buck and kind of made it thinner and cheaper to hit some different price points in the market. So here's your full-size buck blade, but with a lot thinner and lighter handle. That's called the Slim series, I believe. And then here's, this one might be called the Slim Select pocket clip. And this is, I think it's G10, but it could be micarta. And I've carried this one a lot. I remember I got this on a trip to Atlanta, not for Blade Show, a business trip. And I stopped in at I flew there, but then I drove back. So I wanted to carry a pocket knife. I went into a Cabela's and bought this knife. So I had a knife to carry the rest of my time then on the drive back. So I didn't have to mess with the airlines on the way back. Anyway, buck of the month. Now we're up to April 2026. And I did want to point out it's a drop point. So you can get bucks in different shapes. So here's your classic clip point, and usually the 112 Ranger comes in a similar clip point, but this is a drop point. But the drop point looks very nice. It's also a steel upgrade. So you got S35VN, which is a very high premium steel and high end. And you got your Boss heat treating. Buck has always done very good heat treating with their famous Boss heat treating. And here is the mark. So buck 112 and that sideways squiggle Z, that means 2026. Made in the USA. So we're celebrating America. You can see the marbled gray and black carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is one of the strongest scales you can have on a knife. And then you got a nice thick stock, thick back lock. If you watch my video about lock types for different situations, it's a long video, but it goes in depth looking at different lock types. But one of the things that came out of that video is my renewed appreciation for a back lock. I think back locks should become more popular because they are the strongest lock for a folding knife. But you can hear all about that in the other video if you want to go take a look. And you got a long pole as opposed to those others we might have noticed had a nail nick. So long pole, you got your silver bolster, carbon fiber, and that's, you might also notice there's no pins. So this has been put on with some kind of strong epoxy or JB Weld, something like that. And as I understand it, that kind of stuff they use to actually get the scale off, you'd have to destroy the scale. It can be done, but you'd have to destroy the scale to get that off there. So that's on there forever, nicely fitted and finished. And that's on there forever. That'll never come off, at least in your lifetime. And now you've got a pocket clip. So even though this has a pocket clip, I generally, on any of my knives, I don't use pocket clips. So what I did here is I found this pocket slip. I've been carrying pocket slips more and more often because I've been into slip joints lately. I like to carry multiple knives. One knife isn't enough. I want to get more enjoyment. So I'm carrying more than one knife, typically. And usually one of them is a slip joint and a pocket slip. But to keep this bolster nice from not getting scratched up, this fits in there. And also, rather than have the clip go over the top, which is how it's meant to do, it comes wide enough that I can just drop the pocket clip inside. And that's how I'm going to be carrying this one. I got this was actually pretty inexpensive. It's called Sog Case on Amazon. It's new because I had been looking around and I hadn't seen this before, so I think this is a new product, and it was pretty pretty inexpensive. It does have a belt loop, but I'm not going to use the belt loop. I like to drop my pocket knives all the way into the bottom of the pocket. And one reason I'm doing that to protect the bolster, here's a knife that's had a buck knife that's been in my pocket a lot, and if you look close, you can see all the scratches on the bolster. So years and years, this has been in my pocket a lot. Smaller, easy to carry, and you can polish that off if you want. So I could get some polishing cream, get rid of those scratches. That actually wouldn't be too hard at all, but that's what can happen when it's not in a leather slip and it's in with keys. So just rattling around all day long for many days, many days, you can get a little bit of scratches there on your bolster. Or just keep it nice to begin with is what I'm doing here. So because I carry multiple knives, some are for artwork, enjoyment, or a fidget knife just to flip back and forth, some of those fidget knives. Some are artwork just for showing off, and then might even carry another blade to actually use and get scratched up. So if you think that's hilarious, that's okay. But that's what I've been doing lately, just to enjoy my knife collection to the maximum. And with my carry system, I call it the 3 carry system. So I don't always carry 3, but that's the 3 carry system. And let's do some quick specs. I think everyone knows a 112 Ranger is the 3-inch model, but we'll go ahead and measure it. And up to the top of the handle, it does seem just a tad over 3. I'm getting a little bit over 3, maybe 3 1/8. And then your cutting edge, 2 7/8. So there's your dimensions, maybe because it's a drop point, but that does come to a nice point at the end. I like that. Nice shape. So there's your blade measurement, and I wanted to get overall 7 1/4 overall length. And let's get a weight. This is thick, so it's going to be somewhat heavy. Get a tear. And 5.34 ounces. So anything over 5 ounces, I do say, is heavy for an EDC. So we're a little bit over that 5 ounces. But if you're wearing a belt, that should be no problem. It's not a problem for me. When I'm wearing a belt, I have a number of large knives I like to carry. I'm generally a large knife person. So that's not a problem for me if I'm wearing pants with a belt. And then stock thickness. So it should be about, I think 0.12 is the usual buck standard. Give it a tear. And 0.118, so that's 3 millimeters exactly. I'm reading 0.119 right there. Let's try again back here. I'm getting 0.119. So nice stock thickness. I like as a standard pocket knife thickness. I actually mention it a lot in my reviews. I like for a pocket knife to be as the standard 0.12. So this is a good standard. I also like the cold steels, the big beefy ones that go even bigger. But for your standard pocket knife stock thickness, I prefer that as like the guiding star, the North Star. 0.12 for EDC, 0.12 inches. And that's what we got here. So, I've gone over the stats. Highly collectible, limit 500 made. 100th time they've made a buck of the month. This is the April 2026. I had to hustle. They just released it last week, but today is the last day of April. So I wanted to see if I could get the video posted before the end of the month. So that's what we're doing today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I kind of pointed out a bunch more buck videos will be coming. Also looking forward to some new products. I'll show another buck knife that I got recently. I'll do a video on this later. This is the Deploy 838. So that's a side opening auto buck knife. And I think this has the S35. Yes, S35 Boss. And it's got coating, but very nice side opening auto. And then I mentioned the sport version, I'll be doing that. And also that Slim Heritage version is coming up soon. So today is April 30th, but I think it's May 11th. I've heard they're going to release the Slim Heritage. So basically they're taking the Ranger model and the 110 model, and it's going to be the same, except they're going to make the handles and bolsters thinner. So that's going to help with your weight and size, because this is a pretty large, beefy knife to have in your pocket, even if you have a belt. And that's kind of been maybe holding it back in sales, even though they're still doing well. And it's such a nice knife. But to make it more carryable, it's going to be a slim down version. And I'm looking forward to getting one of those too. So hope to do a video of that later. I'm leaning towards getting a Ranger Slim. But maybe I'll just go ahead and get both eventually. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Health and happiness to you. I'm Skol, and have a nice day. Remember, always carry a knife.